Happy Wednesday, everybody, and welcome to our Freedom Practice Coaching mini workshop. So for those of you that are in with us, we appreciate you being here. Hopefully you'll learn some really great tips today. I've got an amazing guest, Dr. Jerry Bailey. He is not only one of the funniest people I've ever met, he is extremely knowledgeable about multiple things. We're actually going to cover the topic of how to choose wisely when choosing a coach. So Jerry's going to talk a little bit about that, and we're going to have some great conversations. And knowing Jerry, we're probably going to get off topic, which is going to be fun too.
Never. We'll keep direct on every single subject that doesn't come up.
Yes, exactly. Very good. Well, hey, I'm so glad that you're with me today. I just love you and your wife, amazing couple, and you guys are doing such great things in your clinic. So what I want to discuss, because I can't tell you how many times I've gotten on the phone recently, like within the last 3 weeks, and people have said, Danielle, I wish I found Freedom Practice Coaching a year ago, or I wish I had found it 2 years ago because I used my life savings, or I went with this other coach and I thought they were going to do this, but they did this. And while there's other coaches out there who are awesome and do great jobs, I think it's really important that you identify what your needs are before choosing the right coach, right?
Yeah,
exactly. I know that you and Pam have worked with a couple of coaches before and found value with all of them, but really needed different pieces probably at different times, right?
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we worked with quite a few coaches through the 22 years now in practice. And, I take the view is you're always able to learn something from somebody. And that's key, whether it's, I can say, unfortunately, that a lot of stuff I've had and we've had was of the term of, you're trying to learn something, but you often learn what not to do, in those scenarios. Like, well, we don't want to do that. We should be doing something. We're not sure what that is. But, you always learn something along that process and take something away. But it's always important when you're, looking for a coach is to, like you said, define what your needs are. What are you trying to accomplish? What are you trying to do? And then make sure that person, that group can meet those needs and have had success in that realm of what you're trying to attain. We in the past, we've had coaches that we outgrew, and then we were looking for new coaches, and some other people we interviewed. We're like, okay, hey, this is where we're sitting at. Have you worked with practices like ours at our size? Have yourself been in a practice to help build to that too, in there? And often, more often than not, people who have done coaching or are doing coaching, not FPC, but other ones, I have never done those things. And so it's hard to, if you haven't done $1 million practice yourself or better, it's hard to coach somebody to $1 million practice.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's, one of the things that we teach here at FPC that really resonates with a lot of practitioners is quit building yourself a job, build yourself a business, build yourself a practice. Because when you get to go to the office every day and you don't have to, the joy comes back into practicing because it's not a trudge anymore. There's light at the end of the tunnel. You can take vacations. You've got a team that will support you. And I just, there's so many people who are really good at building people jobs, but that's pretty easy to do. So, here at FPC, we really work on building your practice for you so that doctors don't have to be in the practice day in and day out. They get to be.
Yeah. The work, you get to work on the business, which is the fun part of everything versus, working in the business is great. I love seeing patients every day. Dr. Pam loves seeing patients every day, or not every day, the days that we work. But, we love working on it and being out and doing talks. And I know with just recently with our membership, we did, and I'll share this. I shared this with our meeting yesterday. We did what we call field trips. So we took a small group of our membership to a local olive oil company that had amazing olive oils from around the world, and balsamic vinegar, different vinegars, balsamic type vinegars. And we had a great gluten-free meal there, learned a ton about olive oil itself and how the benefits of the different oils within making and manufacturing them. And the clients had a blast. They had great food. They had great entertainment, especially because the lady who owns the company is a great speaker and talking on things. And so we do little things like that, which is that fun part of working on it with clients and teaching them different things, and not just like sitting in a room, sitting behind a screen and talking about health. We're actually delivering health in that scenario.
I love that. I love that. And, I'm sure that there's a segment of practitioners who are watching this and they're thinking like, how do they even have time to do that? I'm back to back, and that's really what FPC does, is we come in and really help you optimize schedules and, create a team. And there's a whole process of things that we teach you to do that get you to the place that you get to go and do fun things like this. Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very much so.
And I know that there's even other coaches out there who talk a lot about, who want you like out of the practice doing things. So book tours and television. And so more of that like celebrity type doctor, which is awesome. And I don't know very many practitioners who like would go, no, that's not for me. I don't want to be known,
Yeah. Hey, enough about me. How about you? How do you feel about me? It's that scenario of things, is like, getting sick of listening to yourself talk.
Yeah. Well, and you have to create good, solid foundation so that you can go do those fun things. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's so many times I'm having conversations and I hear from the practitioner side, like, oh, I'm going to go and do this, and I'm going to go doing this. And then we get down to basics, and there's not enough revenue coming in to even support their lifestyle. So I'm like, how are you going to leave the practice more in the way that it's already currently set up? That's as a business coach, that is not a good idea for you right now.
Right. Yeah. You have to be at a certain point in production that generates the income you want, but allows you some freedom there to do those things, and having that staff support there, and realizing how much staff you need or don't need. I mean, we've had times where we've had way too many staff, and they weren't involved in the data. They weren't, how do I say it? They weren't not dedicated, but they weren't really in the practice to be here. It was just a job for them, and realizing, jobs are jobs, but they didn't have the vision, they didn't have the passion that we had, and we couldn't inspire them no matter what we did. And we always try to do a lot for our staff in helping them out, doing things, reading them, training, and just tons of stuff we do. Just at that time, they just didn't want to move forward. So, they all left about the same time, which was scary. It's like, hey, we got, this is settled, it's working good. Gosh, we wish we could inspire them some more, but they just all kind of realized where we were going. They weren't prepared to go with us, and that was okay. You can't get upset by it. It freaks you out as a business owner. You're like, oh crap, like what am I going to do now? I have to run the practice and answer a phone, maybe check a patient out, check a patient in for a little bit. But what helps in knowing that, for me, it's always helped me to know each aspects. So when stuff comes up, we can train it quickly, or if we hear something like, oh, that wasn't right, this needs to be done this way. But the staff we have now, again, that we have, that's are just rocking it. They're totally vested in our mission, where we're going, the things we're adding on, the seminars we're doing on top of FPC stuff. We're bringing some new fun things in for the IV therapies that we do. They're stoked about it, and we're like, Pamela and I are like, we're not even sure we're going to bring this in, because it's a pretty good chunk investment to bring this new IV therapy in, and the staff's like, particular IV nurses are like, they're talking to every single patient they're doing IVs on, like, oh, you got this new stuff we're going to bring in. We're like, whoa, like, oh my, like, hey,
love that.
Hey, I guess, are we bringing this in now or what? You
have a team that acts like owners, which is awesome. Yeah. It gives you the freedom to be the owner. So let's backtrack a little bit, because I know you well, but everybody's probably like, who's this guy?
Who's this weird looking guy with funny glasses? Didn't have his hair and makeup done for this.
So tell me, where are you guys located, and what's your practice? And, tell everybody how amazing you guys are. I'm going to ask you to do that.
Oh, that's hard. I'm a Leo. That's hard to talk about myself. So I'm Dr. Jerry Bailey. My wife is Dr. Pamela Langendorfer, and we are Lakeside Holistic Health. We have two clinics, one in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, and one in Liberty Lake, Washington. We're right across the border from each other. And so we run those. The Coeur d'Alene clinic is pretty much full-time, and the Liberty Lake clinic is just a little part-time. I'm a chiropractor, acupuncturist, and functional medicine. And Dr. Pam, my wife, is a naturopath, acupuncturist, and functional medicine. Along with, as I look at her, I'm in her office right now, and as I look at all the stuff on her boards, I mean, she's got more initials. I mean, Langendorfer is her last name. Okay, a big German name with 12 letters in it. She now has more initials after her name for all her certifications than she has name for. And
She's
so
amazing.
it's one of those things. I started the process because I love learning and stuff, and then I kind of was like, all right, enough, I can't do anymore. And she keeps going on. Finally, I just said to her that the recent one, I was like, you got to stop. We got to take a break for a while from this stuff. But we run a pretty successful practice in both things. We do a lot of IV therapy and injectables. As chiropractors in Idaho, we can do IV therapy and injectables. Our state's a rarity with that, so we love it. We added that in doing that a couple of years ago. Had nurses that run those for us. We do nutrient IV therapies, ozone therapies, PRP, prolotherapy, prolozone therapies, along with acupuncture, chiropractic, and functional medicine, the health of people. Dr. Pam particularly focuses on women's health, hormone therapies in that, whether it's bioidenticals or other things. And then myself I'm the kitchen sink. What walks in, let's fix it. Let's do what does this person need? It's always diet. I mean, y'all know it's diet. Like, you can fix 89% of their issues with just fixing what they're not putting in their body to be putting what they should be putting in their body, and getting exercise and stuff. So we do quite a bit here, but it's fun. And I've seen weird stuff in 22 years in practice. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, I bet you have. And what I loved about you guys coming in, and I think I even said this on our first call, is I was like, oh my gosh, you guys are a perfect fit. Like this, like what you guys are doing, this is such a great transition to take you guys to the next level, because you guys weren't struggling. You guys, you obviously knew what you were doing. So for you guys to even say, like, we want a coach to take us to the next level, just shows how serious you are about being entrepreneurs. And I loved that about you guys, because by any means you didn't need FPC, but you definitely wanted FPC to take you there, right?
Yeah. As I learned from my dad when I was young, as he had very key phrases that helped me through the long is, everybody's equal in some way. You may know more something than I do. I may know something about more something than you do, but we can all learn from each other. And Pam and I take that with the coaching itself is we're pretty successful already, but we knew where we wanted to go, and we knew what it took to get there. And quite frankly, we didn't have the time. I mean, we were so busy like I said, back to back to back, back to back to back to back to back, Monday through Friday. And we were like, we need some more freedom in our life, hence freedom practice coaching. That's very strange.
The freedom model.
It just hit me. No, it's so serendipitous. The model was there with you guys. We were able to take it into ours and change some things up and do some things. We were already doing a lot of the marketing, online marketing and video marketing and video onboarding for our clients, how we do things. And it really was, the programs itself that we needed. And literally, with as busy as we were, we couldn't, when we try to shoot videos together, it would take us a whole day to do a stupid 5-minute video because of just trying to get everything ready, recorded, just everything. And you guys, the process you guys have is that it was already done. And here's the process. It's real simple to do. The coaching with the health coaching and everything, with the partners of the company too, made it real easy. We didn't have to recreate the wheel. The wheel is done, and we can just bring it in and offer it, and had great success. When we bring stuff in, we're always cognizant of costs. We're always cognizant of how it's going to work for clients, and our clients have jumped on board right away, which we're surprised by. But building a practice for 22 years and I still see patients from my first day 22 years ago, October 31st, Halloween day, 2000. I still see patients from that day.
That's amazing. And so when you say your clients are excited and are jumping on board, they're jumping on board to doing like full programs with you.
Yeah, right? Doing the full programs with us.
Let's just for people who, I know most people who are on here, they understand the program model, they understand the freedom model, but I'm going to cover it just really quickly, high level, right? So you guys were more fee for service, right? You were all cash. You're not insurance, right? So you were
cash. We were about 40-60 cash, 40, insurance to cash, 40 insurance, 60 cash.
Okay. And you're keeping insurance?
We're hybrid English, man. Hybriding it. That's not even a word. We're hybriding it.
We're creating a hybrid.
Oh, we're a hybrid right now. And we are slowly pushing that away from us.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, I love that you said that your clients, your practice members, because that's what we call clients here at FPC, or patients, we call them practice members. They're jumping on board to the programs, right? Mm-hmm. And that is the biggest thing that people can't wrap their head around, is because they always tell me, Danielle, I've been practicing for so many years, usually not as many as 22, and they're used to paying X. They're used to using their insurance. They're used to doing this. And what I always like to educate practitioners on is they might be used to doing that, but that's because that's what you taught them to do. Mm-hmm. So when you teach them to do something else because it's better for them, they're going to be just excited about that. And you're talking about that right now. Yeah.
Is many of our members that have signed up so far, from clients that have been with us a long time to brand new people walking through the door. Because of the amount of pre-education we do and the amount of videos we've done in the past on our Facebook or YouTube stuff, people usually come in pretty pre-educated on knowing what the process is going to be, and they're ready to go. They're just like, yep, I get it. Let's roll with it. I'm ready to go. Because they know it's like, you can't, in an insurance model. And actually, I was just talking this, we had new neighbors that moved in next to us. That's a new oncologist in the area. Who just moved in, and we sat last night outside talking, and he was like, now, what do you guys do again? And we told him, he's like, oh man, that sounds amazing. And it's a model they're trying to figure out too. He's like, and he was kind of an integrated oncologist where he was at back in his residency. And he was just like, man, I wish we could do that here. And I'm like, yeah, good luck. But you know, it's people are excited about it, because in an insurance model, you literally can't do this. You can't do the coaching that they need.
Yeah, you really.
There's not enough time. The once a month, every 6 weeks, 2 months, you see them for a 30-minute visit. That's a touch. It's a single touch that is not going to have a lasting impact. It may be in their head, but if you can when you get them into the programs that you have, that will allow them to have continuous touches as often as they need, as much as they need. And then that dwindles. At first, there's a lot of hand-holding, a lot of guiding them through the process and getting them used to taking care of themselves. And then it's less and less that they need you through the process and your coaches through the process, to the point that they're on their own. And then they can get away from seeing you very little, and only need those tune-ups here and there that they need. So that's what's nice.
And that's when we put them in the membership program.
Yep, that's right? When you roll.
And that's
roll
when memberships work awesome, because it's like you said, they're touch-ups, they're tune-ups, they're not like heavy care.
Yeah. I always remind my patients, I'm going to scoot back for a second. I'm always a phone call and a size 12 a way to remind them of stuff that they forget. They always chuckle at it, because I just kind of stick my foot from underneath the desk and wave at them like, that's the size 12 coming for you, just to remind you through there. But, it is. And that's, what we're trying to do, and what we're all attempting to do. And our goal is, and with the FPC and within everybody's practice, is to create those self-sufficient clients, members who know how to take care of themselves, and are still excited to come in, whether it's for us, it's an acupuncture, it's an IV, it's a tune-up adjustment for them. It's just a check-in to go, hey, how the year's been going? Oh, I kind of had this thing kind of come up. Hey, let's do some testing, figure out what that is, and then roll into getting that fixed. And we do quite a bit of genetic testing also, the anti-aging medicine. We do tons of different stuff with that. And that's so our process that we're working in with our clients who are getting into the program, once they're done and they've had the success, is rolling them into that membership, which is then going, how do we optimize their health from here? The genetic testing, the genetic optimization, the age reversing, age slowing process for them to help them long-term and create that optimal life and health that they want.
Yeah, take them to the next level for sure. Because what I've learned, and I only got health, health for me is a relatively new thing. I got healthy probably about 8 years ago, so in the span of 46 years, I really only been working on it for 8 years, because I didn't know any better before, and so for me, what I found is okay, I'm here. but there's still like all of this that I can be doing, you know what I mean? Like, so you can always take it to the next level for sure. And, you know, what you have found, what we do with other practitioners as well, while you can't do the freedom model within the insurance model, you can have a hybrid practice, like what you were talking about. So you can have that insurance, you know, base going on where people are coming in and they're utilizing their insurance, because you know what, as somebody who has insurance and pays $600 a month for my own just me insurance, it's really frustrating when I go to see a doctor and I've only used it once in the last 5 years and they're like, oh, your copay is $100 and you know you're this, and I'm thinking like, what does $600 a month cover for the last 5 years? Like, what am I paying into? That's frustrating for me. Yeah. But you know, so there's a lot of people who will use insurance because heck, we pay for it, right? But there's also a lot of people that are like, I'm not getting where I need to go in this model. And so by doing exactly what you guys are doing and educating them and saying, hey, I can work with you here, but let's work with you over here in a much more customized and quicker timeline to get you to these destinations. And people will invest in that all the time, because who doesn't want to invest in their future? I mean, that's right. Just right. It's so important. Right.
Yeah, I'll share a husband and wife client of ours that signed up with the programs. Let's see. I guess it's been 6 weeks now. They signed up. Great couple. They were on board right away. They're like, let's just do everything. They're doing the IV therapies, the ozone therapies. They've had stuff on. They're about a little over halfway through the 4-month program. We gave them each a 4-month program. And they're a funny couple. They're amazing. They laugh. They have humor. They get my sense of humor, which is fun because we can have some fun in our conversations in the rooms and stuff, or around as they're getting IVs and we're all laughing our head off and other people are going like, what's going on back there? You know,
I want to do that. I want
to go back there. That sounds interesting. They were so funny. They, you know, within the programs itself, the detox that occurs, the weight loss, it's the data on them are pretty darn good. Is within the first 2 months of being in the program, they're losing average 16 pounds or better. You know, it's amazing to see. And so his goal was to lose some weight. He was middle-aged, around my age. Like, you know, we're not middle-aged. We're young, dang it. I'm 49 this year. We're young.
We're young.
I feel like mentally, I feel 20 most days. Physically, maybe not. But he was just like worried about erectile dysfunction. And he's like, man, this isn't working like it used to and things. And so, you know, we can work on that. The first thing is, you know, that's the first sign for men is if it's not pointing up to the sky, there's something going on, you know? And so we started working on stuff with him, his diet and everything. And he dropped I think he dropped over 20 pounds in the first 4 weeks of the program.
Wow.
Yeah. And his wife, he came in, he's chuckling. He's like, my wife's not happy. like that can be construed different ways. Like, she's not happy because you have a drive again and things are working, or she's not. And he's like, oh no, she's happy with that. He's like, but I'm too skinny now. She doesn't like me this skinny. And then she came in and she saw Dr. Pam, because I see him and she sees her. And she's like, yeah, he got too skinny. But the problem is, and this, okay, people, please don't take offense to this. This is her. I'm quoting her on this. Okay. So don't take offense. This isn't me saying this. I'm quoting a client.
Yes.
Yeah. He lost too weight and got too skinny. And of course, I lost all my weight in my boobs. I have no boobs now. And he's not happy with that. Unquote. Yeah. So we had a great laugh. You know, the whole clinic was laughing and just like, yeah, well, you know, well, that happens sometimes.
Yeah, it happens. You're like, well, at least, you know, with him, we can get him to the gym, put some muscle mass on.
Yep. Totally.
That's so funny. No, if that's the problem that you're having, you know, that's a great problem. And I do see, which, you know, we will be talking about this a little bit later on, but the results from the programs that we have, like the data that we've been able to pull from that, it's just outstanding. And I can't wait to share that with everybody. So that's coming up. You guys are going to have to pay attention to that. But, you know, I know that we're running out of time. So let's just, you know, really quickly, when you guys are working with coaches, or actually when you're looking to find out more about coaches, right? The things that I think that are important to do is, like you said, ask, have you built a 6-figure cash practice yourself? You know, have you done this, you know, with boots on the ground yourself? You can also ask for like referrals and testimonials. You know, I know with FPC, we will actually get you with with our clients like Jerry. So you get to meet him and you get to hear his experience, and they're very honest. They're very transparent. They'll tell you everything. That's what I love about them,
Yeah.
because
I'll preemptively say I apologize if you talk to me and I offend you in any way. I don't mean to, but I have fun. We try to have fun.
Yeah, we always have fun. And I haven't seen you offend anybody, which is good. And I think that it's also really important to ask, is there a money back guarantee? Because a lot of coaches, I don't know of any other coaches that offer that. That is something that FPC offers here. We have a double guarantee when you work with us, because it's that important that you guys take that leap of faith and choose the right model that fits your needs, and then work with us for a year to see how far down that road to that destination we can get with you guys. Right? That's really, really important. Any other advice that you want to give, Jerry, before we get off today?
Whatever they say, do. I mean, you don't recreate the wheel. I see so many in other practice management groups I've been in, and even if FPC, people fight the process, and I get it. I like change with me. I don't fight that process. Change with me doesn't work really well. It takes me a while to like absorb it and envelop it and get it into my DNA. Then I can roll with it. But it truly is do what they say.
Yeah.
Because obviously it works. Number one. Two, what you're already doing probably isn't working, and if you keep doing the same thing over and over, you're not getting anywhere. So do what they say. It's hard to change, but when you do, man, it just makes it so much easier. And then you're like, yeah, I'm an idiot. I should have done this sooner. Like you said earlier, like, I wish I would have joined FPC years ago. Yeah, duh. We all do,
Yeah.
So it's just do what they say, and don't question the process in the way of saying the reason behind it. Like, why do we say this here? As you may learn as you go through, like, this is said at this time during a webinar or something else that you're doing, because it's key to help that potential client or client take a sword off the table. You'll hear that a lot.
Yes.
Take that sword off the table, because we all have swords on the table to defend ourselves with, or lightsabers. Star Wars fan, lightsabers. We have those on there to do that.
Yeah.
You have to have the right verbiage in there, and the honesty there too with clients. And people can tell if you're in a webinar yourself or doing something, some marketing, and you're pulling the proverbial out your butt. People can tell right away. But if you have that heartfeltness in there from your heart, and it's hard to be open often, but the more open you are with clients about your health, things you're going through, family members, Absolutely. The more they're going to identify with you, and the more they're going to be like, okay, this person has my best interest in heart and wants to see me get better. And I'm not just a dollar bill in their pocket. You're
absolutely right, Jerry, because there's a lot of times when I'm talking with doctors on that discovery call, and they said, this coach wanted me to do this, or this coach wanted me to do that. It felt inauthentic. If you ever feel like something's inauthentic, you're never going to convert, because you don't believe in it yourself. Right. And that's why it's so important to really go through that discovery process with us to determine if you're a good fit. We don't accept everybody, and there's people that we've turned away for years. No, you need to go do this. You need to go do this. So if you do get on a call with me and you do make it to talk to Charlie in the strategy session, you're in a 40 percentile, and that's it. 60% of the people that I talk to don't even make it to Charlie because they're not qualified to work with us yet. Yeah, hopefully one day everybody will be able to be qualified to work with us, but there are things that you have to have and you have to get to be able to get there, right? And but that's one of the biggest points, that if you are looking at a coach and what they're telling you to do, or what they're showing you feels inauthentic to you, I would steer away from it, because it's not going to help you in the long run. You're never going to shine, and that's what, Charlie is the most authentic person I know. Like, if Charlie tells you good job, he really means it, because he doesn't say it very often, right? And our coaches are the same way. Our coaches are like, they're going to be there for you. They're going to help you, but they're authentic. When they say something, they mean it. It's heartfelt. And that's what our practitioners, that's that group of practitioners that we're cultivating into that awesome community that's really revolutionizing healthcare. You guys are hearing your patients again. You're hearing them. And for the first time, they're feeling heard, they're feeling seen, and they're trusting people to move them into a destination that they never thought was possible before. That is amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's well, we got through on the first call. So, I mean,
I told you were great. I was like, you're a great fit.
I'm just saying. No,
you're just like, I'm just gonna. It's so funny.
Double pat. No, and it takes time to build a relationship with the coaches too. And you guys do a wonderful job with doing that at the events, the live events, in person and remotely, and everything, and the connections that occur there, and even within the group. We did. I guess I'll share this: the first boot camp with you guys, that first boot camp, and it was epic. I mean, it just set the tone. We had been in for a while, not doing much. I'll say that. We were in for a while and just kind of like, oh, I got to do all this, just one more thing I got to do. And then we did the boot camp retreat with you guys. And I mean, that from there, it's just taken off. And that's one thing I'll say. And I shared it with Charlie, I shared it with all you guys, is if you guys can continue those boot camps, that is the best thing, I believe, that any new client, even a client that's been around for a while, can go to and regain some of that fire again, if they're feeling a bit down or feeling a bit to bring that experienced client and a new client in at the same time and go, God, I remember that. Yep, I remember there going, what are we doing? And this we're crazy, and then that helps to relight that fire.
Yeah, absolutely. Jerry, thank you so much for being on with me today. It was fun and it was informative. Love that. Guys, if you do want to see if you qualify for that boot camp that is coming up at the end of July.
Ooh, nice.
Kristen's going to drop a link in the chat. You can schedule your first discovery call with me. In order to see different results, you have to take a different step. The very first step is getting to know you. So just, hey, I'm nice. I'm not going to bite. I promise. I'm going to be very friendly. I'm going to be very kind, but I am going to coach you because that's what most practitioners need. But I would love to know you. So schedule that call today, and hopefully we'll meet you soon.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Jerry.